Okay, so in today's update about Algorand, we are going to check out the short-term price action right around this area, and I'm going to tell you, number one, why this move up is actually normal, and number two, why this can continue a bit more, but overall, the move up itself is not really important. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And first things first, in terms of classic TA, we are still around this important support, which the lower band of it is about 18.5 and the higher band of it is around 21.5 cents. And it's very important to understand that this level, for now at least, is not broken, okay? Just because in the short term we went under it doesn't mean that we have successfully gotten a break of the support. Point number two, if you remember in the previous update, we were right in here, and the idea was that maybe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down, and well, okay, we're gonna have probably a correction, and I said we can expect that correction to be into a wave 4, and what's gonna happen next, we are probably going to have another move down into our wave 5. And since in this phase down in algo, we have taken this low right in here about, let's say, 18.5 cents, okay, makes sense to say for now in the short term, in this whole move on the upside, the bearish scenario is probably going to be in play, indicating that in the next move down into our wave 5, we may take the lowest low down here about, let's say, 17.5 cents. And as you can see, in this move, we have definitely taken all the lows in here. Now, question, what happens after a 5 wave down? You know what? Some sort of a move on the upside. And I think so far we can say maybe this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, and soon after this move up is over, we're gonna have a move on the downside. I'm gonna guess this is probably going to be a correction, and then we're gonna have another move up. Now, this whole move up by itself, like I said it at the beginning of the video, it's not really that important. Why is that? Because it's kind of predictable that after an impulse down, we are going to have some sort of a move up. However, you need to actually pay attention to the shape of the move, okay? That's really going to determine what's going to be next in algo, and whether, for example, this point right in here is our final low or not. If from this area we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, that is going to be an extremely optimistic sign, suggesting the final low in Algorand is already in, and maybe we are going to at that point start the next phase of the bull run, which, by the way, in it, I still stand by what I said. Going back above this important right now resistance area is going to take some time. So I think it's safely say, even if this is our final low in algo, we shouldn't really expect like a very strong move up in order to get a break of all these resistances and take the previous major pivot high in daily time frame around 61.5 cents. No, I do not believe that is going to happen, but I think we can expect something like this to play out. Maybe like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, and at the end of this move, we are probably going to reach to about this important resistance, and followed by that, we're going to get a correction structure down. And again, this whole process, I promise you, is going to take some time. So for now, in the short term, in Algorand, you want to see a very strong move on the upside. And this is important. In that move, if we manage to take this important high around, let's say, 21.5 cents, that's actually going to be an early bullish signal for us. Why is that? Number one, this seems to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down, and number two, on a higher degree, there is actually, I would say, a pretty decent argument to be made in algo for this whole move down starting from this high about 30.5 cents to be a complete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down, which means if we do go up in Algorand and in that move we take this high, we can say this is going to be some sort of, I would say, a midterm low. Is it going to be our final low? For now, it's really too soon to talk about that kind of scenarios and say from here in Algorand we are going to start the next major phase of the bull run with absolute certainty. No, we can consider that, but again, for now, we really do not have a lot of price action starting from this point for us to be able to identify the patterns and say whether the final low is already in, or maybe this is going to be some sort of a slow and choppy move up, a correction, suggesting in algo overall, our move down is just not over, and we are going to have another move down in order to take this low. And maybe, unfortunately, at that point, we are going to also get a break of this important support as well, and that's not going to be a good sign for Algorand. So let's have our final conclusion and wrap up today's video. Point number one. In algo, I think this move up can continue a bit more, and there is a good chance that we're going to do something like this: a correction, another move up, and then maybe like some sort of a move down, and followed by that another move on the upside. So far, if we are going to get something like this, I can tell you maybe these are going to be the sub waves of an A, B, C zigzag structure, and after it, we can have another move down. On the other hand, if you are looking optimistic in algo, what you want to see is a continuation of this move, and then we do some correction structure and we get another move on the upside, because at that point, I'm able to tell you, look, maybe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, which is a great sign suggesting some sort of a bottom in Algorand is in. Also, in this phase up, if we are going to get it, if at the same time we manage to take this important high around 21.5 cents, that could be another very, very optimistic sign. Does this mean that, for example, after taking this high from here, we are going to get like a very strong and sharp move on the upside? Okay, we can do that, but in my experience, usually after a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, after we take the previous major pivot high, we are actually going to have some sort of a move down. And if this is going to be a correction, okay, that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful bullish setup, because on a higher degree, what are we having? I'm hoping that we have a 1, 2, and if this is happening, okay, the next move is going to be a big one up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. So for now, all eyes should be on the current move up, which I do think is going to continue, but the shape of it is really going to determine what's going to be next in Algorand. If we get an impulse and take this high and go maybe to somewhere around this important area between 24.5 to about 25.5 cents, that could be an excellent sign suggesting this was overall a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down, and probably the last leg of the whole correction down in Algorand, which has started from 61.5 cents, and the final low might be already in. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Algorand's price charts. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.